move over to red shifts as their hand weapon. Now, obviously, the red shifts aren't quite as good. The hit registration seems to be a little more, I guess I'll say, precise on the red shifts, whereas the Nebulas have a tendency to hit a little easier, and the damage is a little bit bigger. But yeah, Gunlei here going for a it looks like double Karasawas on a main tank, and I believe those are plasma cannons on his back here. So this should be interesting. We've got a light tank build coming out from UnskillEd.
Perfect. We did have an unfortunate dropout, but we have adjusted that score for you. Not Zentonic, you found your opponent, but we do have everything good there.
Gotcha. Just one dropout. Honestly, that's not too bad considering. I mean, we had 39 players pop up. We've got 38 seeds, so I think we only had one player drop, and then the second player. So I mean, hey, it's a good show up. Everyone's here on time. We fixed the bracket issues earlier with the timing, and you know, everything works out in the end. Core, you know, that's what they say.
Absolutely. All right. So, do we have anything we're waiting to do, or are we good to go?
Just waiting on these guys to ready up.
All right.
That is it.
Gunlei Skilled, it is all up to you. We are ready to see what the potential future champions have to offer.
Yeah, I've not seen Skilled yet in any tournament play, so I'm very curious to kind of see what he's got to bring to the table here. I know Gunlei, he's a very good player. You know, I've had the privilege to be able to play against him in ones, in scrims, and actually Glint is one of my good friends, and so playing with him as often as I have, and knowing the competition that he was able to give Glintu in that biped 1v1 tournament, I am expecting good things from Gunlei. But you know, it's every dog has his day, and even though Skilled might come into this matchup as a bit of an underdog, you know, he has a chance here to kind of show the ACE6 competitive scene what he's got. So it should be interesting.
Absolutely.
And as far as map selection goes, you know, with Bona here, both these players picking kind of lasery tank type builds. You know, I would venture to say, with as open as this map is, that this is going to favor Gunlei to his advantage here, just with the raw damage output that he'll have and the AP lead that he'll have just due to his leg choice. But you know, Skilled does have those missile pods on his back, so what I'd really like to see here actually is him kind of kite him out as much as he can, try and kind of force an AP lead to his advantage and make Gunlei really take the initiative here. You know, and kind of put the pressure on him to where he has to make the choices and decisions to chase and follow here.
And this will be very interesting to see how they play around the crater in the middle, because I know that the wheelchair is going to be quite fast, but at the same time, it doesn't necessarily matter when you don't have as much cover as you're used to with something like Xylem or Bertram.
Yeah, absolutely here. And you know, he's playing this matchup pretty well so far. He's almost got Gunlei actually staggered here on the heavy tank treads, which is pretty nice there, and that's going to be a good first stagger there. A lot of damage coming out as well. And it's a good punish there from Skilled.
Very nice to see. Those Kurosawa's doing a huge amount of damage if they hit, but it looks like hasn't been able to connect right now. And those double back-mounted plasma cannons also doing a little bit of damage here, about 10%, but not able to get as much as they could.
Yeah, he's able to get a little bit of trade there, but his bread and butter really is going to be landing those Kurosawa shots and trying to get that big damage off. And you know, part of the issue here is just going to be trying to close that distance, right, on that light tank track. It's going to be a little bit difficult for Gunlei here, but if he can get in close and try to utilize maybe a poor quick boost timing from Skilled, take advantage of those animations, you know, he might be able to get a shot off here, but it's just a very, very difficult matchup for him right now. And there it is. My first match is going to go over to Skilled, so I do like to see it.
Yeah, well done to both players. That was actually a very, very aggressive match, and it lasted a lot longer than I anticipated initially, considering the amount of damage output that both players have. But very, very cool to see.
Absolutely. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this is best of 3 or best of 5?
It is best of 3 matches, so
gotcha.
You will have...
So we're first round of match 1, and then we keep going.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, It will be interesting to kind of see what adjustments here Gunlei will have in the second round, and that's the thing, really. I mean, his build is so bursty. If you know, all he really has to do is catch Skilled here once or twice with his Kurosawas, and it's going to be massive damage that will come through. He's doing a lot better job this time of dodging some of those redshift blasts here. He's not taking nearly as much damage as he did before. This is the kind of stuff that we do want to see, so you know, just being careful with your movement and making sure that you're piloting your mech in the right areas at the right time really is going to matter for these players. There it is, big damage going to come out there. Kurosawas do land.
Excellent job, well done. So it looks like in this case, Gunlei's been able to avoid so much more than they did last round.
Yeah, absolutely.
There they go.
It's all going to come down now to Skilled here. You know, having that AP advantage already on a very heavy mech like this is really a great advantage for him as well.
Absolutely.
It's just going to be a matter of whether or not he can kind of keep this pressure up. We do see actually the smoke pod being taken here unskilled. And there it is. Plasma cannons from the back will take round 2 in Gunlei's favor. We're going to go ahead and go to a 1-1 score here in match 1. It's going to come down to this final match here. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what kind of adjustments Skilled makes here. Obviously, those red shifts weren't landing quite as well, and the AP advantage really starting to shine through for Gunlei here on the heavy mech.
Absolutely. Do you know off the top of your head what if the projectile speed of the red shifts are faster or slower than the Kurosawas? Because it does appear to me that, you know, those long-range shots are landing more often for Gunlei than the red shifts.
I think the speed is pretty comparable. I think in this case we're really just seeing Gunlei just instituting a lot better movement here.
Okay.
You know, better quick boost timings here, trying to take advantage of FCS delay, things like this. Really are going to be in his favor, and already now, I mean, you know, Skilled sitting here at about 50% AP is going to put a bit of an advantage, but it seems he may have lost him here for a second. Unfortunately, no punish from Skilled going to really come out there.
Very close, very close. I really like how Gunlei has been able to use... I said that the Crater isn't that much of a cover advantage, but every time that those missiles come out, they typically get blocked. I love to see it.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, and you know, that really comes down to Skilled's usage here. He's not really spending a lot of time airborne. Both these players are spending a lot of their time on the ground, and especially whenever you have any kind of missile. I wouldn't say any kind of missile, but the missiles that he has here, you're going to be in a better position to be firing these from more of a 45-degree angle down, so that way you're not able to utilize as much of that cover as Gunlei is doing. But again, you know, he knows what he needs to do here. He's utilizing that cover effectively. He's taking advantage of kind of the misplay here on the missiles. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like he's got a, it almost feels like a wasted weapon slot, you know, in a lot of ways.
Absolutely. Plasma Shield comes out, or Pulse Shield, excuse me, from Gunlei, just to block some potential damaging hits from the red shift. But again, about 50% down for Skilled, but Gunlei at 75%. 1 minute left in the match here. It looks like he may have lost. Oh, he found his opponent here.
Yep.
Both guys take
there it is.
huge
Nice
damage.
Kurosawa shot, and the plasma rifles will land. That's going to be match 1, going in Gunlei's favor.
Farquad, so your opponent is Advance. All right, taking a look. Ooh, very, very interesting. We have another double laser tank build. So in this case, we have the double hand lasers, which are, I think, the lightest lasers that they have available, as well as those double laser cannons on the back. Still running with the smaller, I guess, tank build. So we'll see if the difference here is going to be it's going to make the difference between those missiles and the red shifts that we saw earlier. Of course, that will mean that he is going to hit a few more of his shots due to both the velocity as well as the repeatability of those shots. But again, it's going to come down to who is going to be able to get more of those shots on target. You have, a lot of damage. Stun coming out against Skill, dropping them down to about 40% HP, forcing out the Pulse Shield. Gunlei down to about 60% HP, a little more now that the wheelchair is chasing them down. And those back-mounted lasers doing a good amount of damage here. 50% down for Gunlei. Skilled gets hit again by one of those Kurosawa shots. Blocks the other one. Is very, very high up on the stun gauge. Is Skilled dropping that down. Gunlei still about 75% on the stun gauge. 40% health. Down to about 15%. Skilled. One more hit is going to do it from just about anything that Gunlei has to offer. This is going to be close. Oh, and just clutches it away. Well done to Gunlei. Well done to Skilled to try and you know, modify the way that they were playing before, adapt to their surroundings. and work that damage, because they did a tremendous amount of damage early on, and I think it just came down to that positioning at the end of the day. Okay, Winnower 1, I will go ahead and modify that as soon as this match is done. Sorry about that. Back to the match, we have a little bit of damage coming out from both players, about 10 to 15% down. The damage from the Kurosawa is doing, or I think that might have actually been the plasma cannons, doing a bit, but not enough to, decisively take the lead. Watching as Skilled is trying to get out of here. Oh, the double Kurosawas do hit. It looks like both plasma cannons do miss, though, unfortunately. Okay, we do have the chase down coming in from the wheelchair mech, and really trying to make use of that crater again. We saw some absolute dominance from crater usage, or at least the environment usage. Now it is Skilled's turn to make use of the environment around them. Coming into the plasma shield to block that charged Kurosawa shot. Stun coming out from Gunlei. Gunlei not potentially able to do a huge amount of damage right now. The pulse shield comes out for Gunlei, about 50% HP. Skilled is down to 10 and is done. That takes it 2-0 to Gunlei over Skilled. Well done to both players. That was very, very interesting to watch, to see that kind of heavy duty damage per second versus the heavy alpha damage.